Good evening, hello, good evening, and welcome to the Thriving Family Table Talk Show. Yet another episode. I hope you've been enjoying the previous episodes. You can actually get them on the YouTube channel. Thank you for always joining, and I hope all we've been discussing has been a pivotal part of your learnings and resource for you to thrive in the family. How was your day? Thank you for joining in again today. So we'll hold on a bit to let the co-presenter join in. So let me search for her so that she can join in outrightly. We have a very interesting topic today. Very, very interesting topic. The topic is self-love, a vital ingredient for a thriving marriage relationship. Self-love as a vital ingredient for a thriving relationship. Welcome. Thank you for joining the live broadcast. Thank you for joining the live broadcast. I'm still looking for her. Let's see. Okay, she hasn't joined in yet, so just hold on a bit. What is trending? What's happening at your end? The talk show is to bring family resource to people, and to boost family love, rapport building in families, and to handle real life issues. And I know that many people have reached out to me telling me that, oh, thank you for the episodes, because it has been helping. Yes. Thank you very much for joining again today. Today's topic, like I mentioned earlier, is self-love, a vital ingredient for a thriving marriage relationship. Let me reach out to her to join. Just give me 1 minute, please. 1 minute so that she can join. Yes. So let us know where you are joining in from. So that we can kick off very, very well. Yes. Thank you for joining in. Thank you. Welcome. Let us know where you are joining in from. Welcome to me. Thank you. Thank you for always being consistent. Thank you for joining in. Oh, thank you. How is London? How is the weather? Welcome. Thank you for joining. Yes, we're waiting for others to join. The topic before us today is self-love, a vital ingredient for a thriving marriage relationship. Self-love is very, very key. What is self-love? It is high regard for oneself. Emotional wellness is very paramount to thriving. Yes, thank you. I can see that you say it's bright and sunny. Yes, the spring. It's already spring at your end. Even right here now, it's not so dark in Lagos. The weather is actually changing, because it used to be very black as at this time in Lagos, but now the weather is a bit it's changing. We are noticing the changes. Like I was saying, self-love is high regard for oneself. And emotional wellness is key for thriving. Emotional wellness is the starting point for thriving. Every day we go through a lot. The happenings, the good, the bad, the ugly. The one we expected, the one we did not expect that happened can leave us agitated. No. Yes, we agree, it can leave you agitated, but emotional wellness, the sense of emotional wellness will tell you that no, you can't stay in that mood, because being agitated, you will not be able to thrive. Being agitated, you will not be able to function optimally. So today, I will just go further, as in, since the whole Pastor Bridget is here to join, so that I don't keep us waiting. Self-love. What is self-love? Self-love is high regard for yourself. It is a big eye-opener. If you can love yourself, it will be easier for you to love others. Self-love helps you find yourself. It helps you to connect to your spirit. It allows you to truly be you, truly be you. And your first healing is not being you and letting others be themselves. Being you and letting others be themselves. That is self-love. It allows you to be you truly, as in the best version of you. The rhythm of self-love is intense, very, very intense. It produces positive energy to thrive, and it involves being deliberate about your self-care routines. It entails being positive, being deliberate about self-care routines. That is the only way you can produce positive energy. If you understand yourself thoroughly, if you know yourself thoroughly, you'll be able to maintain a heart filled with love. A heart filled with love. I was talking to some people earlier today. I told them that the earnest prayer you can actually pray for yourself is, give me a simple heart that has love in it, because there are different categories of hearts. Different categories of hearts. There is the proud heart, there is the bitter heart. There are so many things, so many things. And in marriage, for you to thrive, if you remember, I defined earlier that self-love means you allow yourself be you, not being somebody else, as you have been able to overcome imposter syndrome and allowing your spouse be themselves. That's what self-love will help you do. So to thrive in marriage or any other relationship, you need a simple, uncluttered heart, a heart that is devoid of pain, bitterness, envy, jealousy, mischief, or wickedness. You know, a wicked heart, it's not something you truly want to have, but sometimes you just find yourself thinking wicked things. But when you have self-love, when you are big on practicing self-love, it puts you in a position to just have a simple heart. Pivoting to the self-care mode as a husband and as a wife is the genesis of a truly thriving relationship. Self-care routines leave both parties intentional and increase their ability to build seamlessly. I can see Pastor Bridget now. Okay. And for that to be behavioral modification, there has to be self-acceptance. It is only when you love yourself, only when you truly love yourself and you accept yourself for who you are, your mistakes, your strengths, your weakness. When you accept, you are able to work on your weaknesses. You are able to perfect your strengths. You are able to manifest your innate abilities. Self-love is the acceptance and willingness to harness giftings, your innate giftings to benefit yourself and to others. I think I'm having a bit of network issue. Is it from her end? Okay, we'll continue. Self-care fosters healing. It fosters healing. You know, in the environment, you can get wounds. You can be wounded from the happenings. I mentioned earlier that we have the good, the bad, the ugly. You don't have control over it, so it can be traumatic. So the trauma can only change and you can only be healed when you have self-love. Welcome, Pastor Bridget. Good evening. Thank you for joining in again today. I've already started because I didn't want to keep those who are joined in waiting. So I'd already started defining self-love, what self-love is. So thank you for joining in again today. And happy birthday to your precious first son. I pray that God will be kinder to him, especially in this season. Welcome again. So, my sister, let's go. The topic before us today is self love, a vital ingredient for a thriving marriage relationship. I've already defined that self love is high regard for oneself, and you need to be well emotionally to be able to thrive in marriage or any other relationship. So, can you give us your own definition of self love? Your own definition of self love?
Okay, thank you so much for having me, the Thriving Place Academy, and thank you viewers for joining us this evening. On my perspective about self-love is appreciating oneself
Yeah.
and prioritizing yourself above others and taking care of your needs and not sacrificing your well-being to please
Yes.
others.
Mhm.
Self-love means not settling for less,
Yes.
not self-love can mean something different for each
Yeah.
person. It all depends on what we mean by self-love, and there are different ways to taking care of oneself. For starters, it could be talking to and about yourself with love,
Yeah.
prioritizing yourself according to what Coach Naomi have said, giving yourself a break from self-judgment and
Mhm.
condemnation,
Yeah.
trusting yourself. You must
Yes.
have the ability to trust yourself, being true to yourself, being nice to yourself,
Yes.
healthy, healthy boundaries,
Yeah.
forgiving yourself when you aren't being true or nice to yourself. Self love is different from self care because self love is acceptance. Why self-care? Self-love is acceptance, accepting everything about you. Self-care, you can change things, improve on one, leave one,
Yeah.
and go ahead. But self-love is totally different from
Self
self-care.
care.
Examples of self-care as follow: listen to your bodies,
Yeah.
take breaks from work and move and stretch. Those ones are self-care, not
Yeah.
self-love. Put the phone down and connect to yourself or others, or do something creative. Those ones are self-care, or like going to spa,
Mm-hmm.
traveling, lecture. Those ones are self-care. They are not self-love. Eating healthy, but sometimes the judge in your favor. But self-love motivates you to make healthy choices in life.
Mm-hmm.
There are different ways to practice self-love.
Yeah.
I just because self-love is a big topic, so I'm just trying to pick. Maybe at times we come back to the topic again. How do we practice self-love?
Yeah.
Because many of us might not really know what self-love is, or some of us are stuck in one particular one that we think it's self-love. Maybe it has been obsolete. We need to upgrade.
Yes.
We need to become mindful. E.g., people who are more self-love tend to know what they think, feel, and want.
Mm-hmm.
That is self-love. Taking actions based on need rather than wants. Not
Yeah.
because Jesus says that you will go for it. That's
Yes.
not self-love. Do you need it? Is it necessary? In this context now, is it a necessity? That's taking action based on needs, not on wants. E.g., by staying focused on what you need. You turn away from automatic behavior pattern that
Mm-hmm.
get you into trouble,
Mm.
keep you stuck in the past, and lessen self-love. Another one is practicing good self-care, because
Yeah.
self-care is under self-love. It is
Yes.
not a substitute.
Yeah.
Then you will love yourself more when you take better care of your basic needs. People high in self-love, nourish themselves daily through
Yes.
healthy activities like
Yes.
sound nutrition, exercise, proper sleep, intimacy, and healthy social interaction. They
Yes.
don't just
Very true.
assume
Mm-hmm.
or withdraw or I feel, oh, because I'm not included, you will pick offense, or because they didn't like my write up on Facebook, you will feel ridiculed, you feel lesser of yourself. No, those ones aren't self-love,
Yeah.
because it dents your own personality. You have to make room for healthy habits. Yeah. Start truly caring for yourself by mirroring that what you eat, how you exercise, and what you spend time doing. Do stuff to get it done, not because you have to, because you care about it. Thank you.
Thank
This is just the
you. Thank
summary
you
of
very
first
much.
John.
Thank you very much. Let me just, self love is reminding yourself that you are enough. You are enough. Everything you need is in you. You said she talked about accepting yourself and
Mm.
self care being a subset of self love. If you truly love yourself, you'll be intentional about self care. The rhythm of self care is very intense. It can produce that the energy, the needed energy you need per day, per season, per time. So self love is very, very key. So my next question is, what are the benefits? What are the benefits of self-love to transform a marriage relationship? Because I know adopting the self-care lifestyle can be very, very beneficial in a marriage relationship. I know you are able to navigate life seasons easier. I know that even when you are bored, you know that it's just a passing phase. Even when you need to be silent at the moment, you don't feel bad, you don't feel less, you are still enough, you are still in charge of your being. And it is easier for you to align seamlessly with your God orchestrated plan for yourself and for your spouse and for the relationship. Self love keeps you unique, it helps you to manifest phenomenally powerfully in your own originality. It is a showcasing of your authentic self, authenticity, your ingenuity. So Pastor Bridget, please let us into your world concerning self-love and the various benefits of self-love as an ingredient, a key ingredient in a thriving marriage.
Okay. When we are talking about self-love as an ingredient in a thriving marriage, we need to look at the foundation of self-love. It's like
Yeah.
a wheel, and that foundation of self-love, it has what we call self-discovery,
Yes.
mental health, self-acceptance,
Mm-hmm.
boundaries,
Yes.
self-care,
Mm-hmm.
self-talk, self-discovery. There are about, is it 6 or 7 of them? So for one to, that's for us to align it with God's purpose for marriage. Is that what
Mm-hmm.
we are talking about now? Yeah. The
Yes.
first thing foremost is, if we love ourselves, we know what we want. We have this self-acceptance, self discovery. We are already we are already filled by our own self, discover ourselves, know our identity. Then the next phase will be, what is God's purpose in marriage?
Yes.
Or why, what is my own purpose of getting married? We all have different purpose of getting married. My own purpose is quite different from your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Some people get married because of companionship. Some people get married because of way of escape. Maybe escape route from poverty, maybe escape route from bad family, different reasons. Some people get married because of maybe different reason like that. But we are talking about God's purpose in marriage now. How self-love helps us to align ourselves is by
Mm-hmm.
deeply rooted in his our own identity.
Mm-hmm.
And the prior knowledge of the foundation of self-love that we just talked about right now, we also help us, and Ephesians 2:10 say, tell us, Ephesians 2:10 tell us that we are God's handwork,
Yeah.
his
It's not
masterpiece.
something.
This is a beautiful reminder that you are not a random
No.
accident
Mm-mm.
or a
No.
mistake.
Mm-mm.
You were created with purpose and intention.
Yeah.
You have already discovered in identity, which you have already known in self-love. Because self-love is like overflow. You cannot give from an empty cup. When
Yes.
you are giving from an empty cup, you give negativity. You
Mm-hmm.
give, that's rebellion. You give depression. So
Mm-hmm.
now God has, this self-love will increase God's love in our marriage. Because
Yes.
if we love ourselves, because God is love, if we truly love ourselves, then we know that it is the power of God that helps us to love ourselves. When we are really, we have a sound relationship with God, it will help us to have a self-love, not being feeling needy, not going out of context of purpose for our life in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Then it will not empower us to stay focused on our strengths, and it will make us to be creative. We
Yeah.
will not be distracted
Yes.
on our weaknesses, because we have the problem solving skills in marriage, and help us to stay afloated of any side
Mm-hmm.
talk, people please, and unpleasant buying to please people, or trying to navigate to know what is happening in any one place, because we already stay focused, because we have already have self-discovery, because our mental health is balanced. If our mental health is
Mm-hmm.
balanced, we will be able to show love, genuine love, compassion, be submissive to our partner, and we'll be able to have a healthy living, and it will make our marriage to flourish, to blossom. Yeah, we will not breed on somebody that didn't cut
Yes.
us. Because if we don't have self-love, there is no way we can thrive in our marriage, in God's purpose for our marriage. Because in 2 Corinthians 12:9, he said, God's grace is sufficient for us,
Yeah.
even in our imperfection.
Mm-hmm.
The grace help us to heal, to restore, because there is no way you will say you have a perfect marriage, that you are not being going through turbulency, maybe up and down. But when you are enough for yourself, when you're already equipped, when you have self acceptance, you have already set boundary for yourself, as in, yes, with his happiness or without his happiness, with or our happiness or without the happiness, I am not an abandoned property. I
Yeah.
am loved.
Yeah.
I am who God says I am. My
Yes.
marriage cannot define me. My in-laws cannot define me.
Yeah.
It will make us to stay structured, purposeful, happy, and no one can shrink us and make us to go into closets. And again, that is, we talk about healthy boundaries. Help us to celebrate our progress in Christ. We don't need to live in competition with, maybe
Yeah.
competing with our spouse is making progress. Oh, I too have to make progress. I have to know, because we've already loved ourselves. With material things, without material things, the marriage will work out. We don't now need to dent our peace, our mental health.
Mm-hmm.
We don't now need to talk ourselves out of our greatness,
Yes.
out of the vision of God for our life, because we are in marriage. And all that in it, God wants us to bear fruit in our marriages. He wants our relationship to showcase the gospel. If there is no self-love, there is no way our marriage can showcase the gospel, because we have to determine it. It is when we are already healed, restored, transform,
Mhm.
diversify, that we can bring out the truth about ourselves into the marriage.
Yeah.
And God will help us.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you very much for that great exposition. I know adopting the self-love lifestyle, it helps you become calmer. You are resolute, you are assertive, you are persuasive, you are efficient, you are effective, and you are very decisive. She mentioned she exposed so many benefits of self-love. You are able to understand the season you are in. You know that you are enough. You are not in competition with your husband, your in-laws. You are not distracted by your weakness. You are not distracted, or you are not pulled down by obstacles, whether criticisms, whatever is coming from you are just enough because you are happy, you are joyous, running your part, playing your part in the marriage. You understand life seasons, and you know that your unique roles, you can function in your unique roles because you are now calmer. You know yourself, you love yourself, you understand yourself. It keeps you patient, it makes you good. God
Mm.
said, goodness and mercy shall follow us, and that's in our DNA. So you are kind. You are not unnecessarily nice, you are kind. And your creative genius, she also mentioned it, it flows freely from you. You are able to create because we are co-creators with with God our Father. Remember, self-love makes you unique, it makes you phenomenal, it makes you align with the God orchestrated reasons and plans for marriage. Marriage is ordained by God. If you want marriage to work, one of the ingredients you need is self-love. If the husband loves himself adequately and the wife loves herself adequately, and they come together, it is easier for them to love themselves. They are not loving, their self-love is not to the extreme. It's balanced because their emotions are balanced. That way they can build together. What is the reason for marriage? One of the reasons is to build together, to be able to bring God's agenda. Let us take the story of the Tower of Babel. Why did God stop them? Why do you think God stopped them? Because there is greatness, there is power, there is energy in unity. And God did not want them to want the people of Babel to thwart his plan and purpose on earth. That's why he scattered them, because he already has a template. I read in the devotional some time back that we are actors, and truly we are actors. God is the one, he's the planner, he's the indefatigable planner, he's the orchestrator of all events, whether marriage, all our life roles. So if you have love, because love, God is love, and we, his replica on earth, we are love. So self-love is a vital ingredient in a thriving marriage. There's a research that says calmness is not silence, it is controlled response.
Yeah.
If your in-law comes rushing at you, raging at you, and you have self-love, you'll be able to manage it. Even because you just tell yourself, that's their understanding. You are truthful to yourself. Will it hurt you? Oh, yes. But you don't take it to heart. That's what self-love will do to you. It delivers you from imposter syndrome. It delivers you from, as in, people
Yes.
pleasing. It delivers you from depending on external validation to thrive. It does a whole lot for you. So that brings me to my next question, Pastor Bridget. Is self-love, is it a very potent remedy to address imposter syndrome, external validation, people pleasing? You know, sometimes they will tell you, if you don't please your in-law, they will look at you anyhow, they will put you in a bad light. So relate self-love to people pleasing, external validation, and imposter syndrome. Thank you.
Praise the Lord. Self love is a remedy for addressing external validation. It is a remedy because it sharpens your identity, You already know who you are. You
Yeah.
already know your strengths. You've been able to write an expose about yourself. Even
Yes.
if you have not journaled it, even if you are not written it down, you have it on your head. You have already have, okay, 5-year plan for yourself, 10 years plan for yourself. How do I respond to this? You already know them now, like you can label them A, B, C, D. Okay, what response will I give to A? What response will I give to B? You have to predetermine each individual's response, how you handle them. Because if you don't have a planned structural response for each an individual in the marriage, you will troubleshoot. They will bug you, they will turn to virus, bugging you to be troubleshooting, that you will worn out, break down. They know your weaknesses, they capitalize on your weaknesses to break you down. But when you have self-love, nobody can break you down, because your mental health is balanced. Yourself, according to the, I will always refer to that will. If you don't have that will, it's better, maybe if you are listening, you can write it down, that there is a will, foundational, a foundation of self-love, which is self-discovery. Nobody can discover you. You need to discover
Yes.
yourself. If you have discovered yourself, you don't seek validation from external factors. If you have been able to discover yourself, you know you are equipped, you are enough. The Bible says you are the head and not the tail. And he say you are a tree that is planted by the rivers of living water, that flourish and blossom in all season. And he
Yeah.
also says it that do not despise me, O you my enemy. When I fall, I will rise again. Even when trouble comes, you don't need to run to external factors to help you out, to redeem you. You stand up, go on your knees. If you're a Christian, you pray. If you are the other religion, you pray, because we have another being that answers, and it will direct our path. So what we need is to have this self-love, to create boundaries, and not to seek validation from external factors. Self-love helps one to heal, grow, strive, so that it can evaluate oneself and do it more
Mm-hmm.
and more accurately, instead of relying on another person to interpret for you who you are, which for better or for worse, it's often grossly inaccurately our self-esteem. If we are seeking external factor, they bring us down, like asking your in-law, how was my soup? No. Do you expect them to give you a good response? They can't give you a good response that, oh, you are the, many of us, the major problem we women have is we are looking for that title, the good wife, the best wife. Do you have to wait for them to call you good wife for you to know you are good? Do you have to wait for them to say, oh, the best wife? If you are still looking for validation, praises, oh, what a wonderful wife, then you are still a slave to yourself. Then you have given your own self to them to enslave forever. Because according to what we have said, you are enough, you are equipped, you are awesome. God chose you to be the partner of who you are. So therefore, don't try and seek validation from external factors. You are enough. You have set your boundary, you have accepted yourself. And when you, mental health, focusing on stress management and mental health, learning healthy coping skills. What are your coping skills? When you have self-love, the coping skills are the response I said earlier on. You can name them now. If you have not named them, you know, okay, these people from this angle of this place, each time I pick their call, I don't feel right. How can I go about it? Because I'm now loved. I've been told now I'm loved by God, and I should also love myself, because God has already loved me. So only what I need is for me to love myself.
Mm-hmm.
Then one equation has been completed. Then the second thing now, which phone calls give me pain? which phone call that I receive that bring anger, bitterness to me, then you now find yourself, do I need to still pick this course? If you are still hurting, you don't need to pick, because words you say when you are hurting shows that, oh, this one is not healed, this one is still in pain, and the only thing they will help you to do is to expatiate the pain more.
Yeah,
So
they'll magnify it for you.
the best thing is, if you don't pick a call, it is not a crime. So learn to work on yourself, learn to have your coping mechanism, and stay true to yourself, because you have already loved yourself. God has already chose you. That's why those days when we were small, that we used to go to Catholic church, they will say, who made you? They say, God made you. God made you for what? You will not say, God made me to love you, to serve him, to and so like that. So now, if you don't have any coping mechanism today, just ask yourself, who made me? God made you. It's not your husband that made you. It's not your children that made you. It's not God. Even your parents birthed you, but they didn't make you. So some of us, we think it's only marriage. At times there could be sibling rivalry that we bring transfer to our own marriage, because before we've been making our siblings to validate our life, to validate what we do in our marriage. Then the moment maturity sets in and say, okay, I think I'm healed now. I think I love myself now. I can handle my case. Then there will be anger. There will be bitterness. She doesn't listen. She doesn't do that. Then we transfer it into our home. May God help us. What we need is
Amen.
self-love.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Pastor Bridget. Remember that taking inspiration from others is okay, but never forget your path is your own. She talked about coping mechanisms. Your coping mechanisms has to be dynamic, it's not fixed. So you have to understand your self-love will make you know that in this season, your coping mechanisms will be different from a next season. Let me summarize what she said. She's asking us that we should compartmentalize our lives. Compartmentalize our lives. Because life is very, very dynamic. Having this at the back of your mind that life is dynamic, you'll be able to compartmentalize your life. You arrange it in such a way, your life roles, wife, mother, auntie, cousin, whatever your
Yes.
roles are, career woman, career man, businessman, business, compartmentalize your life and you be your own first measurer. Measure what you do. Understand when you have that understanding, as you are able to compartmentalize your life, you will thrive in marriage. Because if you are not doing that, you'll be overwhelmed. Overwhelmed should not come in when you practice self-love. Overwhelm is not allowed in a thriving marriage because you understand the dynamics, the power of self-love. You are always looking for positive energy. If you don't practice self-love, you can't get positive energy. Positive energy cannot be prayed into your life. You have to be intentional. You have to be deliberate. You sit with yourself, ask yourself questions, ask yourself salient questions. Be friends with yourself. Understand yourself. The way it's easy for you to go to your friends, your husband, to ask questions. Ask yourself hard questions. When you get to that level of asking yourself very hard,
Get
tough questions,
a mirror,
then
a mirror.
yes, as in, like I told like my colleagues at the off at work today, I said, last week was tough, right? Let it go. Don't hold on to it. That's self-love. Because you need strength for this week. If you are carrying over what didn't work well or what should have been, you will not have the positive energy to run your current day. That's what self-love teaches. It helps you understand that today is today, tomorrow is tomorrow. This hour is this hour, the next hour is the next hour. The thriving family understands that self-love will help you navigate from point A to point B. It helps you to align with the original intent of God Almighty. He created us, yes. And when you love yourself, that means you are whole. You are whole. There's wholesomeness. That means you are healed. That means you have been able to navigate everything, the trauma, the environment, all your experiences. You have been able to process them, the mental abuses. You've been able to process them and still be you, and still be kind, and still be good, and still be able to dole out love, because a heart that has love, a simple heart that is loaded with love, doesn't see, it's not a fault finder, it's not critical. She also mentioned that know the cause, that know your triggers. That's what self-love will do for you. Know what triggers you. As in, self-love will tell you, oh no, you don't need to speak now, be quiet.
Mm.
It will help you reanalyze what boredom is. Most people will say, I'm bored. I'm bored. What is boredom? Boredom means sit with yourself, self-reflect, bring out your innate abilities for the betterment of yourself and for others. Self-love makes you stay still and not be bored. I can tell you the truth, because you want to manifest, you must learn to be calm. It is
Yes.
only in your calm state. The agitation mode will never change anything. It will never, it can't solve anything if you are still. And that's what the environment is gradually stealing from Christian marriages and marriages, as in, because it's trying to change the original plan of God. It makes you feel that that person's marriage is better off than mine. Oh, this my spouse is behaving. But when you have self-love, the perspective is different. You have a positive outlook towards life. You know, rapport building becomes easier for you. So now, Pastor Bridget, I'm asking you, self-love fosters complete wholeness and it enhances rapport building. Let's hear your perspective, your outlook on this subject: self-love, wholeness, rapport building.
Okay. Thank you so much. It make when you have self-love, it shows that you are complete, you have been made old, you have been reformed, you have been
Mhm,
revived. Now you are completely old. That means you are bubbling, you are in a new bubble.
mhm,
And just imagine when water is boiling,
mhm.
because once the temperature is constant, the bubbling will keep coming or it will even
Yeah.
increase. But the moment you reduce the pressure of the fire, the bubbling will start dropping. It's not as if it's not still hot, but that bubbling is reducing.
Mhm,
So when you have self-love, you are old, you are bubbling, and your paramount choice is not to reduce the fire, to keep making it
mhm,
bubble so that your oldness cannot be punctured again. And it will create rapport building. It
mhm,
will make you to have a listening ear
mhm.
than do it, because when you are old, you don't talk too much. You
Yes.
listen more than speaking, trying to defend yourself. You will not be confrontational. You will
Mhm,
not be defensive,
mhm,
but you will just sip in things gradually as they are coming. We don't rely on others to say, okay, you just did well right now, or to define our feelings. No,
mhm,
we feel increasingly more connected with ourselves. Just imagine you are bubbling, the fire is on, and the control switch of that bubbling, you are in control of it. How can somebody dip hand in a bubbling water that is bringing out bubble? He will just be looking at the bubbles And at the end of the day, before you know it, you will calm down and respect your bubbling, because they do not have control to reduce the fire of your bubbling. When one is not having self-love, he gives out the authority, the ownership of his joy or her joy to others. He creates third party to rule the person. That means that
Mhm.
one person is broken into pieces. But when you are old, there is no legal ground, there is no gate that they can pass through to manipulate you, to determine when you are happy. You know, some will tell you, oh, I have mood swing. It is my hormone. It is my med. I know those ones are there. Even if you're on medication, does it have to be for the whole world to know? Some will even make the whole world to know the time they take their medication, the name of the medication they use. It's not called for. It's personal. Telling people, I have to take med to sleep, shows you are not whole. It is your own, is your stuff, is what you are dealing with, is the way
Mhm.
you are living your life. You don't need to expose it to the whole world. Fine, you can have one inner circle, two inner circle, but not to itemize your daily life for them. If you are that kind of a person that cannot keep to yourself, shows that you need to work on yourself. That means you are still lacking that self-love, because we are stronger now, so we can able to accept things about ourselves, that
Mm.
even when others say something about us, we don't get hurt again. When they criticize us, we don't break down, be crying. There will be emotional intelligence, you understand? When we are old, you understand? People can have good rapport with us and say, oh, do you know you have bad breath? Then the next thing is you work on your breath. Some of us, we are tigress. They can't even tell us, baby, change your nightgown. We will flare up. Why will you tell me to change the nightgown? You are smelling food. Maybe you've just finished cooking and you didn't cover your hair and you want to sleep. Once your husband say, oh, this hair is smelly, you will, it's because I'm not your girlfriend. Your hair is smelling, accept it and move on. Two things you can do. If it's worshipful that moment, you can wash it. If it's not worshipful that moment, look for something to tie it. That is that rapport we are talking, rapport building. If you don't have rapport, if they cannot tell you candid truth about yourself, you take it personal, then there is still no self-love at that moment. And it brings us to that our cliche didn't allow us to accept before. Before now, when we didn't have self-love, even when we are wearing color that is not rhyming,
Mhm.
the spouse we just close, is either the wife that will keep quiet or the husband will keep quiet and be looking. They will just say, okay, I will endure. If I raise it up now, we won't go to this place. You understand? If they cannot tell you, oh, this cloth you are wearing is not good. If your husband cannot tell you, change it. If you cannot also tell your husband, oh babe, this your shirt or this thing is worn out, because no, they find it difficult to buy clothes. So if you cannot tell them, no, babe, don't wear this, that means there is no yet awesomeness. There is no yet rapport building. There should
Mhm.
be a place where rapport building is. As a result, we realize that we are grown individual now, not dependent, not a powerless child anymore. So we are less offensive. We are not
Mhm.
frightened by rejection. If they don't
Yeah.
call you, you don't need to feel, oh, I was not invited. Oh, if they did not invite you, they save you stress, they save you your resources, they save you your sanity. According to what we used to say there, you can create your own platform, create your table. When you are old, if you like what they are doing, you can join them without them being inviting you. And when you join them, they will be ashamed to tell you not to join them because you have just ridiculed them. When you are old, you fit in into anywhere. Any discussion they are discussing, even if you don't know what to contribute, you listen and nod there and laugh. And when you are laughing, they feel intimidated. That those that wanted to make you to feel inferior, they will not be feeling inferior. That's what self-love does. That's what wholeness does. And we are less likely to psychologically depend on others and be watching. Oh, what are they wearing? You have to watch. Have they put on their clothes before you go and wear clothes? That is not self-love. Wear what you have and feel important, and call yourself what you want to call yourself. What you are wearing is not as a result of the designer, is as a result of the way you carry yourself. Somebody wearing Primark and somebody wearing Gucci. Gucci person might look tacky, but the person wearing Primark might look more confident, bold, composure, and everything. That's what self-love does. It redefines us, it reshapes us to make us feel that we don't need all those things. We don't need all those side distractions. We are more than enough. And we can recognize and accept our strengths and our shortcomings. We can step out of our comfort zone. Yeah. We will not be scared again. Oh, I don't know if I do this business. Will it work? Do it first. Let it not work. Failure is not the end of life. Failing forward is more important than not failing at all and being stagnant. And again, it will make us to change our behavior, and it will make us to change our false belief system that nobody wants me. Nobody wants me. Nobody wants me. If you continue with nobody wants me, your children too will take it up from them. Is that the kind of legacy you want to leave for them? I will give an instance. In my children's school, they were doing like family day. So they told, okay, country by country, nationality by nationality. I used to be the one doing it all this while. But because the kids are now grown up and all those things, I didn't, I stopped representing my country. So this time around, there were ladies that said, oh, they want to do, they are impressed. I say, okay, I will support you people. I will lead from behind, because a good leader should know how to lead from behind. All of a sudden, because people were not responding on the platform, this lady said, no, I want to stop because people. Immediately, I didn't speak to that lady. I put it on voice note and told the lady, are you doing it for the sake of these people? You are doing it for the sake of your children. Why do you want to give up? If you give up, what will you tell your children? Your children already know that, oh, their country, there will be a stand for their country. You are going to now tell them at that minute that there is no, I said there is no way you can ever encourage, motivate your children never to give up, because that will stuck in their head. Don't try to destroy your beautiful memory for your children. Some people do not have what they want to lose. So try as much of like the lady was shocked and everything. You now say thank you, thank you. All other ladies that were on that platform, they were so ashamed of themselves. They feel so small. They started contributing. Oh, I will do this, I will do that. Because one thing I know is women, we try to like stay back in our comfort zone. Not that we think that, okay, we have self-love. If we have self-love, we don't need to be intimidated. Once you want to do something, you go ahead, you do it, irrespective of whether they are supporting people, because she was looking for external factor to validate her action, to encourage her. I say, no, you are enough. I'm just coming this year to show you. From next year, I will show you. You begin, make yourself to be strong, fortify yourself, because you have to create this boundary for your children. When they see that, oh, their country is being represented, they will so be proud of themselves in the school community. They will know, oh, my parents too are involved. My parents are not intimidated, because your kids will feel, oh, it's because the same way they are intimidating us, they also intimidated my mom. That's why she gave up. So we shouldn't do that. We should have that sound mind to like be whole in anything we are doing, in our parenting, in our love life, in our career. We should be whole. When we are old, there will be support from our children, there will be support from our husband, even the men too. If they are not whole, that's when they come home, bring office issues to the house, start nagging. Where are they? Who goes there? Don't do this. and now be pouring all those negativity on the children at home and the wife. The next, women, the next thing we do is that, oh, is the girlfriend outside, but not knowing that maybe it's the pressure back from the office. Because the man, it's not only woman that needs self-love, even men also, they need self-love. And most men, if you find out, many of them are brooding, many of them are bleeding, maybe from their previous marriage or previous relationship, or maybe from their pressure from their mom, pressure from their sister, pressure, but that they cannot bring home. So they are stocking it, bottling it there. Any little thing, anger will come up. Any little, maybe from their business partners, maybe they were duped, maybe those doing forex, the thing dropped and it will bring pressure onto them. So in a nutshell, self-love is not only for women, because most men will think, oh, I don't need self-love, I'm okay. Okay, I've taken care of myself. I'm going for boxing. I'm going to watch football. I go for boys' hangouts. No matter the boys' hangouts we go for, you are still coming back home to sleep on your bed as a man. You still have a family you are coming up to. If you feel that coming home choke you up, then you need help. Get help. Get help for that burden to be lifted up. Get a coach, get a therapy to release yourself of that tension in your heart. If you feel that, oh, when you are happier when you are outside, but when you are coming home, everything turn around is like total blackout. Know that you need healing also as a man. Self-love is not only for women, even men need self-love more. Because if men love themselves very well, they will love God more, and they will be able to channel, because the Bible said that Christ is the head of the home, so also is the man. So that they will be able to be the good head of the house. The love on them, they will transfer it to the wife, to the children. So at times, because we women, we tend to know more. If you see that this guy is struggling, if you can help, you can help, but you cannot use it to ridicule him. You cannot use it to chastise him. Come on, go there. Come, you understand? So if you know that, okay, he's bottling up things, don't use it against him. Don't use it against him. Because why? Every unresolved problem turn to crisis, and who suffers when he's in crisis? The whole house suffers. So I just pray God will help us to really know you, to really know him well, because all this love we are talking about since is all God. If we have God, genuine relationship with God, we will be able to have self-love. Self-love is for the men, the women, even the children. If we, the parents, do not have self-love, do you think the children will have self-love? They will doubt their identity. They will doubt their parenting. They will doubt everything. But if we love ourselves, we'll be able to parent them in love. They too will be able to study in love, and they'll be able to have good grades. They'll be able to have good relationship. So I will say, when we have self-love, we don't make our environment, we want to have issue with involve the children, nag in front of them, tell the abuse the children, abuse their father in front of them, you abusing your wife in front of your children. No, 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 no. That is not how to have a thriving marriage. And I pray God help us all. Thank you,
Thank
Coach
you.
Naomi.
Thank you. Thank you. The almighty formula, self-love, is the starting point for a thriving relationship. The almighty formula. When you have self-love, you are more composed. It's a rushed emotions weaken your power, but composure is a power move. When you are composed, you are able to bring the world to your feet, backed up
Yes.
by God's grace, because you are in full control of everything around you, your words, your actions, and your inner. You are in full control. Self love positions you in a dynamic dynamic place where you have improved sense of optimism. You are more optimistic about life. Your life perspective, as in they are global, they are not countercultural, they are not counterproductive. No, they are not. You are able to, she spoke earlier about rejection, about obstacle. You are able to understand yourself, understand your spouse, understand in-laws from both families. You are able to navigate. You see, life has its own pressure. Each day has its own pressure. But self-love will correct you. We correct your countenance. We correct your attitude. We correct your behavior. It will help you modify to your benefit because you need your health, as in your character. If you're always on the hyper side, it will affect your health. Then you will not be struggling with illnesses and ailments that would have been avoided. But with self-love, the ingredients, the almighty formula, the ingredients, one of the chief requirements for a thriving marriage relationship, you just have to sit with yourself daily. That's onboarding, onboarding. She talked about exercises. I call exercise my peace arena, my peace time, my dumping ground. That's what exercise does for you. Like some people will tell you, oh, I'm very busy. There's a formula to it. You don't need to do 45 hours like those who want to go for Olympics. 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. It's discipline. Self-love will make you have a regimen that you follow, and even you'll be asking, is this you? Can this be you? Even you become you become a mystery to yourself because you are actually practicing it. When somebody does something to you, you say, oh really? You just bypass it. You're able to seamlessly, you just be going effortlessly. I had a coach who say he calls it effortlessly. You are just able to navigate life scenarios, life situations. It's not tough. Marriage. In marriage, you will be tested, you will be tried. Your emotions will be, that's in, there will be the triggers that still want you, maybe you feel, oh, I've passed this, I've passed through this, I cannot. You just have to, it's consistent. You just have to know what triggers you. And those triggers, don't let anybody push your button. Just pause. You pause and say, no, not today. Just pause. And that person will change the trajectory. That person will change the trajectory. Self-love, remember, self-love positions you for a healthier lifestyle. So adopting it in marriage is very, very key. It's very, very key. Very key because it is that self-love that motivates you to carry on. It motivates you to carry on. You are able to be calm, to ask questions. Even you are not expecting the person to answer, as in, even when they don't answer the questions you're asking, your spouse is not answering your questions, you're still calm because you know that perhaps there's an inadequacy wound your spouse is trying to navigate. There's a mental abuse that the spouse is trying to navigate because some days are tougher than some.
Yes.
Self-love makes you understand that some days are truly tougher than some. And until you are fully healed from the inadequacy wound, you are not whole. You are not whole. Some people are even coming from baggages from previous past experiences. You know, all those things, they come to play in later parts in the year. I tell people, if you don't take care of your emotions, if you don't take care of your body, which body will you live to fulfill the prayer you're always praying? Oh, give me a long life. Do you want to live a long life with a weak frame? Is it not better that you build your self-care routine, love yourself so well that you are able to manage the body, that you are so praying and believing for that, okay, you want to have a beautiful life together. You can build. There's power in unity, and self-love pushes that unity we need in marriage. The family is the bedrock of the society. Out of the family comes every character that we are seeing today in society. So we have to be intentional, whether as a wife, whether as a husband, to practice self love. Self love will move you to a higher trajectory, to a higher realm where you are calm, where you are resilient, where you are able to build lives, whether your children's lives, your life, your spouse. You are called into marriage to build. Marriage is a building institution. You are consistently building in marriage. You are consistently building. As far as you are building. And to build, it takes technicalities, it takes measurement, it takes a whole lot. It takes sitting down, it takes planning, it takes executing the plan, it takes implementation. You see, like when you want to build a well, when you want to build a house, there are measurements. So you have to keep measuring. And that's what self-love does for you. It tells you, oh, measure this way, don't do it this way, stop this one you've been doing. Oh, move here. Because self-love is tied and linked to intentionality, being deliberate. Pastor Bridget, thank you again for this so much exposition you have given to us today on the topic self-love, a thriving and a pivot ingredient in a thriving marriage. So let us have your closing words so that we can let our viewers go. We've actually had a long time today. So please let's have your closing words so we can close for the day.
Okay, thank you so much for
Thank
having me. Self love just improve and transform marriage and
you.
enhance intimacy. Intimacy is not all by the physical one alone. Intimacy is bringing one closer to oneself, and it involves emotional vulnerability, trust, mutual respect for one another. That's what self-love does in marriage. And also it reduces anxiety in
Mhm.
marriage. Self-love reduces anxiety and it makes one to be resilient. We've said it, and it sets healthy boundary. And self-love also combats loneliness, because loneliness are bound to happen in marriages. But if you have self-love within you, whether is available, is not available, you focus on your projects. How do you focus on your projects? You every week have a structure. This is what I want to improve on today. For the staying at home spouses that are not working, you need to weekly have something doing, be engaging, learn, unlearn, and relearn. It could be in your four corners of the house. You could just change the way you position your setting and everything. Keep yourself busy. When you have all this self-love, you will have skills that will not make you to feel lonely, because loneliness are part of marriage at times. There are seasons whereby this is busy going left, the other one is busy going left. What is now left? According to what you just said before, that you are praying for long life, where is now the body that you will stay with the long life? So that is why we say long life enhance intimacy. It drives away anxiety and it makes one to not be lonely in the marriage. And thank you so much. Let us
Thank
remember the
you.
seven foundation of self-love. I can say
Self-discovery.
take
Yeah.
self-discovery, self-talk, mental health, boundaries. Then what says again? There are mental health, self-talk, self-care, boundary, self-acceptance.
Yeah.
We should just list it out like that. If we did not get anything today, we know the foundation of self-love, self-discovery, mental health, self-assessment, boundaries, self-care, self-talk. That's the way. According to what Coach Naomi said, you talk to yourself, talk to yourself. If nobody is there, talk. Get a mirror. If maybe you must see yourself, if you don't have any mirror, use your phone as a camera. You can even record yourself while you are talking and talking and talking, especially for those that want to do voice, or at the end you get better. And I pray God will make us to love ourselves more. God will give us that eye to see that we are wonderfully and fearfully made, that we are not to be abandoned. We are divine projects by the
Yeah.
special grace of God. God bless
Thank
you,
you.
Coach
Thank
Naomi.
you. Thank you. Let's remember that self-love, with self-love for the man and the woman, we're able to connect better in our marriage. So adopting the self-love as a lifestyle, it is the almighty formula for a thriving marriage. Thank you for joining this episode again. We'll see you again another time. Do have a pleasant night rest for those of us that have already in the night. For those who are joining in and they are still in the day, do have the rest, the best, Abby, a pleasant day, even as you wind down, to also join us to sleep much more later. Thank you for joining in, and we appreciate you all. Thank you, Pastor Bridget. Say hello to Edward for me and wish him the best of years. And please extend my prayers to him that God will be kinder to him
Amen.
this year, even as he
Absolutely.
navigates it.
Mm.
Okay. Bye bye. Thank you very
Okay.
much. Goodbye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Shalom.